Hey guys, how's it going?
And welcome to another week of Forcible News. Also, before we get into the news, wanted to mention that, as always, if you're looking for Forcible single, sealed product, as well as Caster Chronicles in product, be sure to visit the link in the description below for Happy Little Hug Factory. They also, through this release weekend, are having a sale. All Forcible Company singles, which includes Forcible singles and Caster Chronicles singles, are 20% off. This excludes Winds of the Ominous Moon, but everything else is just 20% off your entire purchase. Just follow the description in our description. I wrote a description of it. There's a code there you just paste when you check out, so make sure you just put that in there. You get your 20% off, and make sure you visit, like I said, the link in the description below so they know we sent you. So our first piece of news is sort of an update and also a little bit of a PSA regarding the ruler misprint. So if you guys remember, there's been a lot of stuff going on about that, people waiting a while to receive them and different things like that. And I'd done a PSA essentially talking about how people need to make sure that they're sending their rulers in correctly, make sure they fill out the form, and even include the rulers in the envelope. And because that's one of the things that have been backing up the production a lot. So one thing I want to also reiterate, I feel like I said this before, but there's a lot of people who are upset about it, who are taking it out on Robert, who is in charge of all that. And I want you guys to know that it has nothing to do with him. It's a lot of stuff to do with mainly the rulers coming in and the fact that he's handling all this, but he's doing it as quickly as possible. There's really nothing that can be done. Messaging him won't make your rulers come in faster. Just today, or at the time of filming, he had mentioned how he had just received envelopes, it sounded like multiple envelopes, that the postage wasn't even fully paid for, so he had to pay for the completed postage and all of them just to get the rulers to you guys. So it's just out of his hands, out of our hands, outside of us actually sending the stuff in correctly. As an update for that, also, both Oscar and I have received our rulers, like Robert had said, around the same time. So it's just a matter of how everything's structured and how bulk rulers are sent out and all that. So just PSA, it has nothing to do with Robert. I also asked Robert for an update regarding the Kaguya 5.0 ruler because he had received a bunch of those, the colossal rulers that were the buy 3 box promo. And so there's going to be a new way to get those in outside of buying 3 boxes, which we're excited for, but we haven't heard anything since. Some people had speculated it would be released with the pre-release kits or something like that, and obviously they weren't. I asked Robert, and he said it's all going to end up being laid on your local game stores, and they're going to be in charge of essentially distributing those. We're not sure the specifics. He said he can't go into any more detail outside of that, but that's just something to keep in mind.
So we found out some news about the Valhalla cluster. Instead of doing what they were doing before, where they were putting 2 rulers in a booster box, they're going to be doing 5 different starter decks and putting 2 rulers in each of the 5 starter decks. So there will be a total of 10 rulers, and that's going to be all throughout the cluster. They're also going to be changing the way that they do booster boxes. Instead of having 150 different unique cards, they're going to be downscaling to 110 unique cards. So now that's not going to really affect much except for limited formats. It also looks like that the draft rulers are going to be downscaled, so instead of having 5, there's going to only be 3. Jeff did say that there is a reason for that, though we don't know what it is yet.
Also, a quick bit of news is we launched our TCG Scrub store. I'll have a link in the description below for it. If I don't, apologies. But we relaunched. We had done a little thing on Teespring, but it ended up not working the way we wanted to. So we switched to, I think it's Spreadshirt. And it's a lot cleaner, nicer looking storefront. And I think it still has a 15% off sale going on right now for any of the items. It has shirts, little bags, buttons, I think, or something. I forget. It has different things on there that are really cool and looks really nice quality. So, and we have a variety of colors instead of just red, much to my dismay. But Oscar really wanted multiple colors, so be sure to check that out in the description below as well.
Also, in case you guys are interested, DMO73 has rebranded to Ruler School. So if you're interested to go take a look at him, we did help out with some of the graphics and imagery in it, so you'll see a little bit of a touch from the TCG Scrubs.
So we had a couple GPs happen over this past weekend. One was in Mexico. So basically I don't think we have a ruler breakdown quite yet. If we do get one, it'll be updated over at tcgscrubs.com, where we have the top 8, as well as the article version of the Forcible News. But the top 8 itself consisted of 7 Sherrys and 1 Shayla. So this is also, keep in mind, pre-ban. The ban is not in effect yet until Friday. So hopefully that's the last we see of that sort of dominance of Sherry. The Shayla, I think, took 5th or 6th place, unless the order of it is wrong. Oscar will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but the other GP was in New Zealand. So this one, there was 29 people in attendance. 50% were running sherry as well. Once again, pre-ban. The top 8 consisted of 8 sherries, 1 Lumia, and 1 Keurig. I'm not sure the exact order that ended up being. All I know is that 4th place was the Keurig deck. So good on Keurig for making it to top 4. I'm on the sherries as well. That Keurig deck was by Mark Fenton also. He is the one who provided a lot of that information for that GP, so thanks a lot for that. Also, speaking of GPs, Oscar and I will be attending GP Collinsville at the end of this month. That's the next upcoming New Frontiers GP as well, and the first one with these bands. So I'm curious to see how it plays out and also how well we'll be doing. So if anyone's attending that, be sure to let us know in the comments below, and we'd love to meet anyone who is attending there as well. We also did a podcast with Mike from Deepwood Force of Will. We had some really interesting discussions there. I recommend going and listening to that in case you didn't already. Also, I'd mentioned that podcast, but I'll mention it here. We'll be doing another Patreon giveaway. I'll be giving away the playmat from that pre-release. It was a really cool looking one. So yeah, I'll be doing that and maybe one other random playmat as well. So that's just part of our Patreon giveaway. If you're a patron, you're already automatically entered. So I'll pull the giveaway for that in a month from now. I'll probably do it while I'm at the GP just for flavor. And also it'd be kind of cool if someone was at the GP who won it, and I'll make it really easy for me as well. But so if you're not a patron, you just have to be the $1 one in order to be entered into the competition. And yeah.
Jeff also did a new Q&A. If you want to watch the full stream, you can go over to Twitch and watch it, or you can watch the summary here on TCG Scrubs.
Pre-release also happened this past weekend for Winds of the Ominous Moon. It was really cool. We got to see the new chase cards, which are basically just cards we've seen before, but it's slightly different behind the text box, something different that I can barely tell. Kind of disappointed, I'll be honest, but it's still kind of cool to get full arts of some of those cards, especially things like Orfika is the big one that I like. But let us know how you guys, if you went to pre-release or if you went to multiple pre-releases, what you guys pulled. I actually haven't seen anyone pull an Uber yet. I haven't seen any pictures. Usually there's a lot of posts about that. So let us know what you guys pulled below.
Speaking of which, the new set comes out, Winds of the Ominous Moon. If you haven't gotten your pre-orders in yet, be sure to get them in before Friday at your local shop. Let us know if you have any pre-orders and if you pulled anything good.
Also, there's a lot of people asking, both Facebook, Discord, etc., about the Laki plugin for Force of Will Modular. It is now officially updated. You just need to go and click the update button for it now. There's a lot of confusion surrounding it on how to get the new set and how it's coming in later, but it looks like James Bishop, the man who runs that plugin, was able to get it all sorted out, as well as fix some previous errors, like one of the inverse cards had the wrong side to it and some other typos and stuff. So it looks like he did a nice clean update for all that. So it should all be good to go. You just go and click update in Laki.
So you may have noticed that there's not that many gameplay videos going on right now. It's because we've been waiting for the new set to come out, and now that it's out, you guys are going to be seeing a lot as far as new deck profiles, as well as some interesting gameplay videos. Also, we're hoping to start some streaming soon, so I would keep an eye out on that. Joe and Oscar are going to start playing some different games, including Force of Will and hopefully some other card games. So go ahead and go check that out on Twitch at TCG Scrubs.
Also, real quick, this just came in on the Valhalla cluster. Someone had asked Jeff Finnegan about specifically the availability of the starter deck, since that was concerned, since there'll be staple rulers throughout the whole cluster. And Jeff has said that he asked for pre-order sheets for the starter decks to be sent with every single booster box throughout the cluster to make sure we never run out of stock. So that's really good to hear and nice forward thinking on Jeff's part. All right, so that's all the news for today.
Let us know if there was any news that we missed, or if there was a bit of news that you may have liked more than the rest.
And we'll see you guys next time.